Are you a mum looking for some parenting inspiration, tips and advice, stories on the ups and downs we face in our lives as parents, some humour and a little bit of fun? Then you may have just found what you're looking for. Hi and welcome to the Parenting in the Thick of It show. I'm your host Louise Clark, a certified parent coach known to many as your parenting partner. As a mum to 3 teenagers, you can bet I've probably been there, done that and heard it all. Trust me, there'll be few things that I haven't experienced firsthand. I created this podcast because I just love to help mums like you find ways to navigate life in the thick of it and find a way out of it. Today on the show, I thought it would be good to just revise the subject of chores, and in particular teens and chores, because I think it's something that as parents we know they should be doing more and more for themselves. As Rudolf Dreikurs, the famous Adlerian psychologist, said, never do for a child what a child can do for themselves, because what it does is it robs them of the capacity to feel capable. If we continue to do everything for them that they actually are more than capable of doing for themselves, they don't feel capable. So I had an email from a mum this week, and she reached out to me because she didn't know what to do with regard to her daughter's laundry. And this is something I think a question many of us face. A, should we be doing our kids' laundry? And B, if we do it, how if we hand it over to them, how do we step out of it? And this was the conundrum that this mum was facing. And there's many chores that our kids can do. And you might be saying, well, doing their own laundry is not really a chore. Well, it might not be, but it is kind of. Chores, recycling, garbage, dishwasher, clearing the table, maybe doing some gardening with you, washing the car, those kinds of things. I put laundry in that category as well, because if they don't do it, I'm having to do it. Just like if they don't clear the table, I'm having to clear the table. The few things to always remember: no one likes doing chores. So your teenager's not going to be happy about doing chores, but just because they're not happy about it doesn't mean they shouldn't have to do it. And the other big question comes up, which is, should we pay them to do it? And it's not for me to say whether I think you should pay your child to do the chores or not. I'll share with you my opinion for me and my kids. I believe there are certain things that they have to do in the home to contribute to the running of the home, and I don't pay them for it. Now, there might be some of you listening and thinking, well, of course I pay my daughter if she's going to unload the dishwasher. That's your choice to make and only yours alone. I believe my kids need to do certain chores because they're part of the family, so they have to do them. But they'll only do them if I step out and make them do them. And they'll only do them if they're reminded and reminded and reminded. It's like a stuck record. And it's my job to not get triggered with having to remind them. Their chores are not on their radar. And I'll bet when you were a teenager, the chores were not on your radar either. And if they were on your radar, then you were a very responsible teenager for your years. Because I don't believe the chores are on their radar. So just because they unload the dishwasher one night and they know they're on for that week, then it doesn't mean to say they're going to remember every night. But it does mean that when we remind them, if we can remind them with compassion and not with nagging, then I think it will always be a much smoother reminder, and we will preserve the connection we have with them, because they hate being nagged and they will forget. So your choice, if you nag them and are not nice to them because they've forgotten, they're not going to be nice back to you, and they're not going to really they might not do the best job of it. So I'm going to move on to laundry. This mum had decided that she was going to hand over the responsibility of her daughter's laundry to her daughter. And her daughter said, fine, no problem, I'll do the laundry. And what the mum was noticing was the daughter was doing her laundry, great, but the clean laundry was going straight from the tumble dryer onto the bedroom floor with the dirty clothes. And the mum wrote to me and said, what should I be doing? Because right now I'm telling her that she can't put the clean laundry on the floor because it's getting mixed up with the dirty clothes, and it's going to end up with more washing. And I pointed out to her, I said, it's great that your daughter's doing her own laundry. And the way I see it, again, this is just my opinion. It doesn't mean to say I'm right. So don't go and say, oh, she says, so that must be right. You do what would work for you. But my daughter doesn't do her own laundry yet. I do it for her, but I don't fold it. And I don't put it away for her. I give it to her, and I say to her, you need to fold it and put it away. And when she doesn't, which is quite regular, I say to her, if you don't fold that before I do the next load, I won't be doing the next load for you. So there's a direct consequence for her for not taking her part responsibly. So back to the clean laundry on the floor and this mum, I said to her, as long as the laundry is staying in your daughter's room and it's not an inconvenience to you, then I would leave it, because you've said you're doing the laundry and she's doing the laundry. She's not bothered with the fact the clean clothes are mixed with the dirty clothes. So, whose problem is it, so to speak? And, I wasn't speaking to this mum, so we weren't having a conversation. And I know what she'll say, because it's what I would say. Well, what's going to happen is the clean clothes are going back in and they have to be done again. And I'm saying, yeah, they do, but they're going to be done again by your daughter, not by you. So it's not inconveniencing you at this stage. I took it a stage further and I said, the only thing I think you could do to not step in, but that would be a direct consequence for the fact that clean laundry is going back into the washing machine, back into the tumble dryer, and back into the cycle, is you could say to your daughter, if I notice that there's clean laundry on your floor mixed up with dirty laundry, then you will have to pay for your laundry detergent, the fabric softener if you use it, and you'll have to pay towards the electricity for running the washing machine and the tumble dryer when it didn't have to be run, because the clothes are clean, but they're going in again. And you'll know from previous episodes that for consequences to be natural or logical, and some of you will argue and say, well, that's not a natural consequence, because natural consequences are like, if you go outside without gloves and it's cold, you'll get cold. Sure, we're splitting hairs here. But the natural and logical consequence of putting clean laundry in the washing machine is that you have to, if you want to do that, you have to pay for the detergent and you have to pay for the electricity, and you have to pay in terms of your conscience, knowing that you are not contributing and helping Greta on her mission to, decrease and eradicate the global warming. So the consequence has to be related and relevant to the action. That is, I believe. It has to be reliable, sort of reliable if the mum's checking on her, which the daughter won't like. But fair enough, it's in her home, so I believe she has the right to check and see if there's clean laundry on the floor. But then her daughter's going to do, so what are you doing, Mum? Are you coming in my room and smelling the clothes on my floor to see whether they're clean or not? And that's the sort of 14-year-old comment you're going to get back. So we're related, relevant, reliable. I believe it's respectful and it's reasonable. It's not harsh. No one could argue with the fact that you're going to have to pay for the laundry detergent and the electricity if you choose to continue to wash clean clothes that are already clean. So tying it all back together into chores, if we hand the responsibility of something over to our kids, we have to make sure they do it. And, it might take time for your child to learn how to do their own laundry and learn not to put clean clothes in the washing machine and learn how to put them away and keep the cycle going. You might have to remind your child to do the dishwasher every night for 2 weeks until they remember. You might have to remind them that it's recycling and the garbage needs to go out on Tuesday. We have to remind ourselves to do that. So they need reminders, but they need chores. It's really important for them to contribute towards the running of the home, because what are they going to do when they leave? What are they going to do when they get into their own place or into their dorm and at university? They have to know how to do all these things and feel capable and trust themselves to be able to do it. The only way they're going to be able to do it is if we prime them for it, and we teach them how to do it, and we instill in them the skills they need to learn in order to be able to survive and thrive on their own in the world. So I hope you find this helpful, and as ever, I've loved chatting to you. And if you think there's anyone you know, other teenage parents, friends of yours who are struggling with their teens, struggling with their chores, you hear about it, then send them the link to this episode and say, take a listen, this might help you. And if you do need any other support, don't forget, you can always reach out to me, louise@yourparentingpartner.com. Till next time, thanks so much for listening. Bye for now. That's it for today's episode on the Parenting in the Thick of It show. If you enjoyed the show, please do share it with your friends and family. And remember, if you find yourself stuck in the thick of it and can't see a way out of it, please send me an email. I would love to help you. My email is louise@yourparentingpartner.com. And don't forget to take a look at the Parenting in the Thick of It family organizer that I created. It's an evergreen family calendar guaranteeing 12 months of use from whenever you start. It also includes beautifully illustrated, informative and interactive monthly parenting theme pages to guide you through the year. It's the perfect organizer for busy families to keep track of all their activities, plus help parents be the best parent they can be. It's more than just a calendar. You can find the link for this and the other social media platforms that I am on below the description in this episode. Thank you so much for listening today, and I look forward to being with you all soon. Bye for now.